The cube, a race against time. 4 years. That's how much time we have left. 4 years before an object of unknown origin and purpose slams into Earth with the force of a catastrophic event. A cube. A massive 3,000-kilometer wide cube, hurtling through space at 6% of light speed, roughly 18,000 kilometers per second. In just over 4 years, this celestial body, named Kubis Primus, will collide with our planet. A collision that could obliterate life as we know it. But here's the thing. Kubis Primus isn't just a piece of rock or ice. No, it's something much, much worse. It was built, it was created, and it's heading toward us with purpose. Purpose is always unsettling when you don't know the sender. But now, after painstaking analysis, we know more. Kubis Primus comes from a distant star system known as TRAPPIST-1, a system about 40 light-years away from Earth, home to 7 exoplanets orbiting a red dwarf star. Some of those planets are Earth-like, possibly capable of harboring life. What we didn't know until now is that TRAPPIST-1 may also harbor a dark secret. We've traced Kubis Primus's trajectory, and the path leads us directly back to this system. The cube was accelerated from its home planet, likely designed as a weapon pointed at Earth. We don't know why, but we are certain it's a deliberate attack. The TRAPPIST-1 system is unique. It's one of the most studied star systems in the galaxy, and for good reason. It harbors potentially habitable planets, some of which could be teeming with life. But now, we wonder if those planets also house an intelligence capable of manufacturing such a terrifying weapon. Could they be a peaceful race? Or could this be an act of war? The cube is not just a stray asteroid. It's too large, too precise, too fast. Its course was calculated by scientists across the globe, and they've confirmed that it was launched with one purpose in mind: to destroy Earth. The scale of the threat is beyond anything humanity has faced before. Traditional asteroid defense methods won't work. We must think beyond the predictable, beyond the known. So, what can we do? The strategies we've developed for asteroid defense were built on the assumption that the objects we face are predictable, inanimate, and follow the laws of physics as we know them. But Kubis Primus may very well defy every one of those assumptions. So, what are our options? How can we stop a weapon designed for destruction with a trajectory as calculated as this? First, we have kinetic impactors. A simple concept. Hit the object with enough mass and velocity to change its path. But the scale of Kubis Primus changes everything. The amount of mass required to even make a dent? Astronomical. And that's just assuming it's a standard, predictable rock. What if it's dense? What if it's tough? What if it's more resilient than we ever imagined? Could our impactor simply crumple against it, like hitting a brick wall at full speed? Next up, nuclear deflection. The idea is simple. Use nuclear explosions to nudge the object off course. But there's a huge problem. What if it doesn't just break apart and splinter into smaller pieces, each one still capable of causing devastation? We could wind up with hundreds of mini disasters instead of one big one. And then there's the ethical question. Nuking an alien object? Imagine the interstellar political fallout. It would send a message to whoever or whatever is controlling Kubis Primus. We're hostile, and that's something we can't afford. Not yet. We've also considered gravity tractors. This involves positioning a spacecraft near the object and using its own gravity, no matter how small, to gradually alter its trajectory. It's a slow process, usually requiring decades or even centuries. But Kubis Primus is moving at an insane speed. 4 years, is that enough time for gravity to work? It's hard to say. The amount of mass required to influence this massive cube would be unimaginable. And then, there's the issue of perfect positioning. One miscalculation.